Morning, everyone. I'll call this meeting of the Planning and Economic Development Committee for Tuesday, September 3rd, 2024 to order. Madam Clerk, if we could do a roll call, please. You'll get enough time to get there and push the button. He's the acting CAO, don't bother. Be careful. All right. Any declarations of pecuniary interest, members of the committee? No? Can I have a motion to adopt the minutes from our meeting from June 6th, moved by Councillor Kerr, seconded by Councillor Sheed? Any comments, questions, or otherwise? Seeing none, all in favor? Opposed? That's carried. Before we get into presentations, Colleen, I understand you have a new player to introduce to us. Really not a new player, but a new position.
Thank you, Chair Chapman. So it is my pleasure to announce that Jonah Kelly, who's just sitting over my right shoulder, became the Manager of Policy Planning and Special Studies in our Planning Division in July. Jonah has been here at the region since February of 2006, so like Councillor Chapman was saying, not new necessarily, but new to this role. And Jonah, since that time in 2006, has held numerous progressive roles in our department. He is a registered professional planner with over 22 years of work experience in municipal planning and graduated from TMU in 2002. He also has spent time working at the area municipal level, gaining experience both at Clarington and Whitby before joining the region. He's led several complex projects over his career and was our project manager for Envision Durham, our municipal comprehensive review, and has been integral to the success of that project, including that submission of our official plan to the province for approval last year in May. And then more recently, Jonah has been navigating the draft decision on the new official plan that was provided to us this spring and preparing the response to the province on behalf of the region. He's also played a key role in several multi-departmental projects, including our provincial plans coordinated review, the development of our first housing and homelessness plan back in 2014, redevelopment of our social housing stock through numerous housing projects, and implementation of our regional revitalization program with the finance department. So please join me in congratulating Jonah.
Congratulations on your new position, Jonah. Now you do know you have big shoes to fill, right? Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, next up is we'll have presentation, Jackie Sievers, Manager of Marketing and Tourism, the Durham Tourism 5-Year Action Plan. Morning, Jackie. Good to see you again. Saw you quite a bit over the summer at a number of things. That was very good, especially roller skating.
Roller skating, yes. It's the important work of a tourism manager.
When you're ready, please.
Good morning, Councillors, Chair. I'm pleased to be presenting the Durham Tourism Strategic Action Plan today for endorsement. Tourism is an important factor in Durham's economic success. Data shows us that visitors are an essential component of success in local business. People who are farther away from home spend more, be it on food or entertainment, purchase goods or gas, they spend more. And visitors to our community spend even more when they stay overnight. For example, in our 14 downtowns, we've gathered information that shows us that on average, about 20% of visitors are from outside of Durham region. So while it may be that Durham's residents help businesses in our downtowns succeed, it's the visitors from outside of Durham that help make them profitable. Growing the amount of visitors to Durham region will have an immediate impact on local business success. This is one part of the motivation of attracting visitors. Economic development and tourism at its highest level has a mission to create good quality jobs. And tourism has a high rate of job creation. especially for young people aged 15 to 24 who are often getting their first work experiences. Tourism is especially important in Durham's rural areas in terms of job creation and economic success. But what makes tourism such an interesting sector to develop is that it's not only creating jobs within tourism itself, but it's also a factor in attracting more investment in other sectors. Through tourism, our cultural identity is strengthened. Tourists visit Durham to try the latest viral cafe, to snap photos in fields of sunflowers, to compete on our sports fields, to trek amongst the trees, to visit museums, or to catch a concert. And it's our residents who really benefit from this, not just because they can work at these places, but because they too can enjoy them with friends and family and those who visit them. Tourism destinations and events help make our community more diverse and entertaining and interesting to live in. These are the things that make our community magnetic. Investment attraction is an outcome of many factors. Decision makers and site selectors consider many things when choosing where to build their business: the price and availability of land, the servicing, the access to markets, a huge range of considerations. Quality of place and talent are mentioned as factors. Ultimately, businesses want to set up shop in great places to live, for their own executives and for their workforce as well. Durham Region competes in the Greater Toronto Area for investments, and strengthening our quality of place can impact these broader outcomes. I'm sure this past summer you've traveled. Imagine for a minute driving into those communities that you have visited and assessing them from the perspective of an investor. Is this a place where you'd want to live and work? A place where you'd want to expand your operations? What you see, the views of beautiful natural landscapes. What you experience, the nightlife, maybe a lineup of concert goers outside of a venue. The vibrancy of downtown areas, the successful shops and cafes and co-working spaces. And what you taste, the unbelievable locally made donuts served to you in that meeting you had, not one purchased at a large mega chain that you could buy just anywhere, but one that's specific to the place you're visiting. This is a factor making up your experience of the place, your memory of it. These impressions are factors in attracting the best talent and the best companies. Investors want to live and work in great places, in delicious places, and they want the same for their employees. And this is why our tourism plan considers many factors to make Durham Region the very best place to live and work that it can be. A good place for small independent businesses, a good place for festival producers, a place with great downtowns and recreational cycling loops, with things for your family to do on the weekend, a place with great sports programming, a place where students get off campus and engage in their community, a place where the residents are the best ambassadors, sharing their community stories with immense pride, a place with memorable, delicious donuts produced by a family that lives and works in your community. Tourism sector development and visitor attraction can impact all of these things, and this is what our plan sets out to do. Ready, Set, Future, a place blueprint for Durham, which is our overall economic development and tourism plan, was endorsed in December 2022. Ready, Set, Future identified that we would develop 5 subplans, which are listed here, and we're working through that process now. 3 are already endorsed. The Durham Tourism Action Plan incorporates the Ready, Set, Future actions while also taking a deeper look at the Durham tourism value proposition and brand, the landscape of tourism in a post-pandemic world, and target audiences to be developed, nurtured, and attracted to Durham. The plan also outlines a defined, action-oriented strategy to achieve broader goals of economic development and tourism activities. The journey to this plan was long. It included a year-long consultation with over 80 community partners for the development of Ready, Set, Future. A Durham tourism rebrand, which started in 2019 and reached approval in 2020. In 2021, we undertook an industry survey, and then in 2023, there was a Central Counties Tourism Industry Survey. We also consulted with Central Counties Tourism on the development of this plan. We reviewed all 8 community tourism plans across Durham Region, as well as visited the community tourism advisory committees in the municipalities where they exist. Ultimately, we drafted this plan and designed it in-house. In the plan, we identify 6 key tourism segments, and these align with our brand principles, urban excitement, and country charm. Putting significant focus into these 6 areas will help strengthen and clarify our messaging and define our strategic projects. In the document, we go into detail about what is included in these areas and why they're important. There's also a number of special sections which dive into specific topics in more detail. We explore visitors and existing audiences, as well as looking at 3 key demographics we wish to attract more of. We have a special section on sport tourism. Through sport hosting, we engage, inspire, and connect with the community, creating sport and social legacies. Rural tourism is explored. This includes North Durham, but much of Durham is rural, outside the northern municipalities. So this plan covers these areas as well. We dive into our brand identity and how we plan to communicate about Durham over the coming years. This is an essential piece to creating a clear message about who, what, and where Durham is. Something we heard loud and clear in feedback surveys to businesses is that they just don't feel that visitors know much about Durham, and tourism businesses want more people to know about Durham as a destination. Defining our brand clearly and using strong branded messaging is a major part of how we're going to address that. And lastly, there is a SOAR analysis. This is something like a SWOT analysis, but it focuses on the positive, our strengths, our opportunities, our aspirations, and our desired results, what we're really trying to achieve. And this kind of analysis helps to really test our thinking. We've included it here so that we can return to it later as a guide for the future. Our vision is that Durham Region will be known as the most authentic and memorable nearby destination for residents of the Greater Toronto Area. Our mission statement: Durham tourism will strengthen awareness of Durham Region as a desirable destination for visitors, repeat guests, and tourism businesses. We will undertake activities that support, promote, and enable tourism experiences, offerings, and businesses. These actions will enhance Durham's brand identity, increase local spending, build an interconnected quality of place, and achieve broader economic development goals for the regional economy. I've included the 5 goals here, and I'll give you some examples of actions that are in each goal area. Goal 1, urban excitement and country charm. Build the Durham tourism brand by promoting attractions and experiences that align with brand principles. So actions in this goal area are things like our websites and promotional activities, ambassador programs, asset development, and our discovery guide. Goal 2, strengthen quality of place. Undertake activities that improve Durham's quality of place metrics and prioritize experiences that instill fond memories and deepen connections to the local community. This goal area includes items around arts and culture, film and television, the music industry, quality of place enhancements and festival support, sports events, the things that really make Durham unique. Goal area 3 is to champion inclusive tourism, pursuing tourism initiatives which are diverse, accessible, and inclusive. This includes plans to translate our materials, ensure representation, inclusive sport programming, the opportunity of international students, and Indigenous tourism. Goal area 4, to drive prosperity through local love. Prioritizing activities with high potential to drive spending to locally owned and operated businesses and increase overnight stays. This includes items like itinerary development, local business supports, targeted marketing campaigns, overnight accommodation investment attraction, rural cycling loop development. And goal area 5, achieve broader economic development goals. Leverage the tourism industry development activities to attract a talented workforce, retain new graduates, and improve investment readiness. This includes items like agritourism support, activations and collaborations such as events and public art, the Downtowns of Durham project, and tourism readiness. I'd like to thank you for your time today, and I'm happy to take any questions that you may have.
Thank you, Jackie. Any questions? Yeah, hold on. Mayor Watt.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and through you to Jackie. Just a quick question. Thank you for the presentation, and it's exciting what tourism can do and bring. My only question is, or comment is with regard to the vision that says that it'll be the residents of the Greater Toronto Area. And I query if shouldn't be a little broader on that.
Through the chair, thank you for the question. This is an area that we did spend a considerable amount of time considering and looking at. One of the points of data that influences this vision is the volume of visitors into our downtowns, which we have quite robust information on going back 5 years. And from a sheer volume perspective, the Greater Toronto Area offers an excellent market to try to attract. Now, certainly other markets farther to the east, we want those visitors too, and we do deliver campaigns into those areas. But our vision is to create a focus. So when we are developing campaigns for our target markets, that we are focused in those areas. So for example, our out of office campaign this summer focused on attracting people through the Lakeshore corridor of the GO train. Meanwhile, we're setting up our Gather at the Farm campaign this fall, which is more focused in the rural areas of North Durham. And campaign materials for that will be deployed to the east of Durham region as well, for example, in the Peterborough area. So it can be a bit campaign specific, but in the case of our vision, it really is about the volume of visitors and the frequency of visitors, and that opportunity being in the Greater Toronto Area.
Okay, thank you.
Need to put a request in. Right, Councillor Shade.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it, Jackie. I really enjoyed the presentation, and Ready, Set, Future was something that I absolutely loved when you had introduced, just when I was elected back in 2022. So a couple of questions. On the first slide, it mentions that $1.4 million worth of annual budget goes into our tourism. Is that what I read correctly?
Through the chair, I'm sorry, the number I missed, what you just said.
The first slide, it said
Yep.
something about 1.4 million of the budget goes into the tourism sector. Is that what it is? Or maybe I didn't read it.
Sorry, no, through the chair,
Ontario,
it's municipal
billion.
tax revenue in Ontario, which is a number really to provide a scale and a concept of the scale of tax revenue that's generated by tourism activity in the province.
I see. And so around that, I had a question on the fact that out of that, does the province give us something? And do we get anything, or we have to apply for grants? How does that work?
Yes, through the chair, the province operates Destination Ontario, which is the provincial level tourism organization. The province also funds the regional tourism organizations. We're in RTO 6, which is Central Counties Tourism, which does business as Visit York Durham Headwaters. And they're an arm's length, I guess you could say, are provincially funded, not for profit. So those are two kind of major areas that the province funds. There are grant funds from or initiative support funds through Central Counties Tourism that businesses and municipalities can apply for. The federal government also has funding programs. So the Tourism Growth Program is currently open for funding applications. I believe it's open until the 17th of September, and those are federal funds. So there are other levels of government funding programs. The interesting thing about tourism is that there's a lot of businesses that sit in a sort of intersection between a lot of things. So businesses in our downtown, like a restaurant in our downtown, for example, is a tourism business, is a Main Street business, can access those types of funds, is a local employer, so it could access economic development support. So tourism businesses are interesting in that way, in that they can access a lot of supports from different organizations. One thing that we're working on to help businesses navigate that, which is an action item in our strategy, is a tourism readiness sort of assessment tool that we would help businesses go through, and that would help clarify the information about where they can access support.
And how are you making people aware of the tourism readiness plan?
That's a great question. We're still through the chair, we're still in the development process of that. We would be taking it to our tourism leadership group in the fall to circulate it with all of our municipal partners, and it will be a partnership between the local municipalities and the region in terms of getting the information out there. We have a lot of businesses reach out to us when they first opened. So one way that businesses reach out to us a lot is through our Instagram DMs, especially, cafes, restaurants, new operators. We have a good audience and they are interested in accessing that. So one way would be through those first points of contact. We do a lot of follow-up by email, so it's sharing that information on a regular basis, and it gives us a more, a framework and a process, more process-based. And then also through all of the partners. So each municipality, whether they have teams or whether they're tourism, like for example, Oshawa has Oshawa Tourism, they would be a partner in it. We also would promote it on our website. We have a large business-to-business e-newsletter, it's about 5,000 subscribers that receive that newsletter, which is specific industry information for businesses. So it would routinely be included in there and kind of promoted in an ongoing way to onboard businesses into that program to help how they can become more tourism ready.
Thank you. And one procedural question through you, Chair, is the fact that once we endorse it, it comes to COW meeting for the rest of council to endorse it, and then you will be implementing it everywhere,
Yes, through the chair.
in a
Yes.
nutshell. Okay, all right, thank you. That's good enough. Thank you so much for this.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. That appears to be all the questions, Jackie. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So there are no delegations, no correspondence in planning. We have one report, 2024 P14, the overview of carbon offset opportunities for the agricultural sector in Durham Region. Need a mover on that? Moved by Mayor Watton, seconded by Councillor Shade. Any comments or questions? And the information in that, Simon, the information in there about the federal subsidies and things like that, that'll be shared with our agricultural advisory committee and some of the farmers that may not know that.
Yes, Chair, we can do that. And we can also circulate it through some of our social channels, newsletters to the agribusiness community.
Great, thanks. So all in favor of the recommendation? Opposed, that is carried. Economic development, there is no correspondence. There are two reports. We'll start with the one 2024 EDT 12, the Durham Tourism 5-year action plan, the regional tourism plan. That's, I need a motion. Moved by Councillor Shade, seconded by Mayor Watton. Any comments or questions? This is a motion to endorse. All in favor? Opposed? That is carried. Report 2024 EDT 13, Municipal Accommodation Tax and the Forming of Tourism Municipal Service Corporations. Need a mover? Moved by Councillor Kerr, seconded by Mayor Watton. Comments, questions?
I just have one.
Mayor Watton?
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and through you to either, I guess, actually to you, Simon. In the report, and I don't have it in front of me, so I apologize, I won't be able to quote it exactly, but it does say that implementing a municipal accommodation tax will make us more competitive. And I'm trying to understand how implementing any tax would make us more competitive.
Yes, thank you for the question and through the chair. I'll qualify that by saying that we would be more competitive from an attraction and a marketing perspective with other municipalities in Ontario. So I don't know the exact number, but I believe at least 80% of municipalities across Ontario charge a MAT, and they are using that money for promoting their municipalities for overnight stays. And they're going to be using those promotional dollars in the same markets that we hope to attract visitors from. So in order to be competitive to attract those visitors, the MAT will help us. But recognizing, of course, there's another side of
Right, so,
taxation.
and that was just more a point of the way it's written, it doesn't outline what the intent was, in my opinion, and I just, it's what you said exactly what I expected, but yeah, and then I think in the conclusion, it's sort of the same sort of thing. I don't have it in front of me again.
Yep, I have it here. Do you want to see the conclusion?
Yeah, Yeah, I guess it's the same. It was building the overall capacity with the municipal accommodation tax. So it was kind of the same. I understand the concept, but I just thought maybe there was a better way of putting it out there for that. So thank you very much.
Yeah, of course, the theory is that the people staying in our hotels are from out of town. And then 50% of that tax goes to marketing to get more people to come from out of town. So, yeah, the wording may be a little,
Well, it's just, that it was the competitive, like.
yes.
I
yeah.
mean, I use the argument for downtown parking, and I'm failing miserably at getting buy-in for it, charging for it, because, we won't be competitive, but yet every community does it. So,
Okay,
anyway,
thanks.
thank you very much. Thank you, Simon.
Councillor Shaid?
Thank you. Through you, Chair. Just before we left for summer break, we did implement it in town of Whitby. And I believe it was just about a certain percentage, closer to 4 or 4. My memory's not with me right now on that precise amount. Now, there is a municipal one. Is there a Durham regional one? And I tried to read the report. I just can't get it, the right answer. So here I am asking.
Yeah, through the chair, there is not a regional level MAT. And in fact, upper tier municipalities are not permitted to charge a MAT. It's only lower or single tier municipalities.
Sounds good. So we are just endorsing it in in a summary here and be supportive of what we will get and where it will be spent on a local level.
Yeah, through the chair, to clarify, the recommendation is to provide the CAO with authorization to issue authorizations to area municipalities that wish to create an MSC to undertake tourism promotional activities. And municipalities that wish to do that can then effectively retain control of the 50% of the MAT that has to be transferred to an eligible tourism entity. So the MSC gets created, it becomes the eligible tourism entity, and then that area municipality can share the required 50% with that entity. But a regional authorization is required for that entity to perform tourism activities, which is why the report is asking for that authorization.
Thank you. And just out of curiosity, through you, Chair, how long has other municipalities like Toronto or any other GTA big cities have had this?
Chair, I may have to defer this question to
No problem.
Jackie. Ms. Severs, do you know?
Through the chair, the question was how long have other municipalities been collecting this? Thank you. Well, I believe the province made it possible for municipalities to begin collecting it through a legislation that was enacted in 2018. So since that time, some municipalities have acted very quickly to do it, and others have been considering their options. And certainly the pandemic created a bit of a slowdown in that process as tourism adjusted during that time. I believe Oshawa's began collecting theirs in 2021, if I'm remembering, 2022, 2021? Yes. So they're the first in Durham Region to begin collecting it. Other municipalities across the province did do it right away. So there are ones that have been collecting it for upwards of 5 years this time.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. That'll be all, Chair.
The big cities have been doing it right off the get-go. I mean, you were in Ottawa, right? You saw your hotel bill. It had municipal tax, accommodation tax on it. So, yes. Mayor Collier?
Oh, good morning. I don't have the report in front of me, and my question's been partly answered through Ede's question, but I'm wondering, Simon, a registered entity, ours is imminent, it's coming up very shortly, and my
You're cutting out.
known in each municipality.
We didn't get your whole question. You're cutting in and out.
Just my understanding, Ajaxes will be coming out very soon, and we were using those funds to promote our own tourism. Does it have to go outside, or I mean, I understand we will be our own registered tourism entity. So does that qualify?
Yeah, Simon?
Yeah, through the chair, Mayor Collier. I may have to have legal provide the specifics, but my understanding of the legislation is that 50% of all collected MAT revenue, net of program administration costs, have to be transferred externally to the municipality to what the Act defines as an eligible tourism entity. And there may be a number of eligible tourism entities that Ajax could consider. Durham Tourism is one eligible tourism entity. The reason why area municipalities are forming MSCs or special purpose MSCs is to act as their own eligible tourism entity. But there may be others. There may be other organizations that are eligible under the definition of the regulations.
Yeah, in Oshawa, we go through the Chamber of Commerce and Oshawa Tourism, so they were already established doing tourism. So 50% of the money collected, as Simon said, goes to them. The other 50% is maintained by the municipality. So once you find if you have an eligible tourism organization that you can partner with.
That helped. Thank you.
Okay, thanks. Councillor Kerr?
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much.
Is that me
Go ahead.
whistling? Just that feedback. Oh, there it goes. Okay, so two things. Last May, June, I had the opportunity to travel in Greece, and I can tell you that the country of Greece has instituted this on every B&B, hotel, every tourist accommodation site. It's one of the ways they've been able to pull up their financial bootstraps. So it's been very successful for them. And the city of Oshawa, we dispense with our BIA because one of the reasons why is that the Chamber of Commerce was felt to be able to duplicate, and this MAT has been able to fund downtown events without putting a tax or an additional tax burden on property owners downtown. It's funded by the MAT, so it's been extremely successful in Oshawa. Thank you.
So just so we're clear on the report isn't whether we're endorsing a municipal accommodation tax. It's we're endorsing authority for the CAO to authorize, in this case like Whitby, for their municipal service corporation, because they don't have an entity already. Like in Oshawa, we have the entity of Oshawa Tourism through the Oshawa Chamber of Commerce, so we don't need that endorsement from the CAO. But where you don't have that, there's the endorsement that comes from the region, sort of permission from the region. That's what this report is, and that's what we're endorsing when we vote for it. Okay, just so everybody understands. So all in favor? Opposed? That is carried. Advisory Committee resolutions from the Durham Environmental and Climate Advisory Committee. You want to move that, Councillor Sheehan? You're on that committee, right? Yes. Can we have a seconder? Councillor Pickles? Any comments or questions? All in favor? Opposed? That is carried. There are no confidential. Any other business? Seeing none, our next meeting will be on October the 1st. And can I have a motion to adjourn? Moved by Councillor Kerr, seconded by Councillor Shaid. All in favor? Opposed? That's carried. Thank you, everybody.